Your Excellency, the Governor of Gombe State, all other protocols are hereby respected. Having listened to the speech of His Excellency, as well as the goodwill messages by the speakers of Adamawa, Taraba and Gombe State, and bearing in mind that it's already almost 1:30. Now is the time that the Deputy Senate President, like I said, who is the chairman of this committee, it's his duty to declare this public hearing open. But since he's not around, I have to do it on his behalf. So, on behalf of His Excellency, the Senate President, I hereby declare this public hearing open.
To Hajiya za mu so mu ji da muke tare.
Sunana Zariyatu Abubakar Hashidu, ina representing Women Participation Technical Working Group ne, wato kungiya ne na haɗin kai na kungiyoyi masu zaman kansu wanda suka haɗa kansu su ga mata sun zamanto suna cikin ribibin harkan siyasa da kuma an zaɓe su a matakai daban-daban na matakin zaɓe.
To Hajiya me kuka zo da shi wannan taro na kwaskwarimar kundin tsarin mulkin ƙasa?
Akwai abubuwa da yawa da muka zo da shi, amma akwai abubuwa guda 4 ne muhimmai da muka zo da su. Na farko, a cikin kundin ƙasa yawanci abubuwa yana magana a kan maza, wato lafazin da ake using a constitution in yana masculine lafazi ne, kamar wato words in a masculine, so ba a daidaita jinsi a cikin maganganun da aka yi a cikin constitution. So wannan muna so ya canja don bai magana kamar yana directing maza ne kawai banda mu mata. To sannan akwai issues in mata a cikin zababbun mukamai. To muna neman seats a kowane senatorial districts, for example, mu samu seat daya na a ƙara seat daya na mace, wannan exclusively na mace ne for anan 36 states in the federal capital. To sannan a na House of Reps muna neman biyu, that means kowane nan ma senatorial district a samu guda biyu. Sannan muna neman a House of Assembly ma a samu at least daya, wanda guda 3 da ake da su a samu guda na mata kuma na daban wanda exclusively na mata ne. Abin da ya sa muke tambayan wannan kuma shine don ta'asan da aka yi ta mana mata a baya ya zamanto an maye gurbin da wurwuri, so shi yasa muke neman wannan. Sannan akwai issues kuma kaman amendment na gaya maka na constitution na inda aka ce batun senate da sauransu. Sannan akwai wasu ƙananan abubuwa nan ma da yake hana mata ci gaba. Wani lokaci za ka ga zan shiga dai ba fannin political participation bane, amma dai kaman issue din mace ta tsaya zaɓe a ko garinta ko garin miji, in kaman bakwa from the same state, ke ni kamar yanzu ina daga Gombe, in miji na daga wani jiha ne ko kuma wani constituency ne, sai ka ga ina ne zaki da in kin dawo gida a ce ke kin tafi can, in kin tafi can a ce ke ba yar can ba. To irin waɗannan duka suna hana mata daman tsayawa a harkokin zaɓe. Sannan kuma muna so a mai da shi doka ya zamanto 35% appointive roles ya zamanto na mata ne, kamar 35% affirmative action in kenan ya zamanto is part of the constitution.
To Hajiya ban katsi numfashin ki ba, kasancewar kalubale da ake ta fuskanta musamman ma na matsalar tsaro, tattalin arziki da sauransu, shin anya matan za su iya kwashe nikan da waka kuwa in aka ba su dama?
To ai rashin dama da matan ne shine yake kawo wasu abubuwan irin wannan, don kaga alƙaluma da aka yi na research ya nuna cewa mata da in suka shigo fagen mulki da leadership, waɗannan abubuwa tsaro, corruption, tattalin arziki, bunƙasan tattalin arziki yana ƙaruwa, tsaro yana ƙaruwa. Duk saboda haka zamantowa mata suna cikin mulki kuma suna cikin wuraren da za a dama da su yana daɗa bunƙasa development, wato ci gaba da haɓakar al'umma. So shi yasa muke kiran wannan, kuma kai ka sani ba sai na gaya maka ba akan cewa duk inda aka ce an dama da mata, don wasu abubuwan ana sidelining namu ne, shi yasa to sai ka ga tunda ma ba a damu da kai ba, kai me yasa za ka yi magana, wani lokaci ko kana da maganan da za ka yi ma sai ka ga ba a kulawa da kai. Sannan akwai wasu abubuwa da a yanayin zamantakewan ƙasa that mu mata muna da peculiarities namu, to ba lalle ba ne in maza ne suke zanne a kan tebul in su kadai ya zamanto sun ga angle in mata ba, tun da kwakwalwarmu yadda yake ma daban ne mata da maza. So shi yasa muke neman wannan participation in the representation in mata. So, thank you.
The leader of my leader, the mentor of my mentor, the boss of my boss, distinguished Senator Danji Mogoje and distinguished senators, good afternoon. Gombe State has touched on all the 16 areas, but this distinguished committee has requested for input from the public. Well, I'm not going to touch on each and every one of them because of time constraint, but those that we feel particularly concerned and close to, I will just highlight them. And we start with the first being the gender equality. And our point of observation here is that you cannot insist constitutionally on gender issues on elective positions, because persons are elected both based on popular votes. So we are suggesting here that apprentice positions, maybe the state governments and federal government should allocate 35% to gender, so that women and vulnerable groups will have adequate representation in executive positions. On federal structure, we are concerned that a lot of powers have been devolved, have been retained by the federal government, and there's the need for state governments to have powers devolved to them. There are some areas which have been highlighted that we think should not be on the executive, on that list, but should be on the concurrent list. So some of them are like the solid minerals, the registration of business, etc., etc. And devolution does not mean, and that is where I will respectfully differ with my friend from Taraba, Gombe State does not support the resource control by states. We do not support that. My brother, I disagree with you. In Gombe, even though we will have oil, we will not be selfish. We want others who do not have to also take part. Then on the issue of local governments, we are saying that the provisions in the Constitution now, as far as local governments are concerned, are adequate. And they've given them enough autonomy. It's only that we have some lapses in the way of implementing those provisions. But we do not need anything new. And of course, we know that state assemblies have the power to make additional laws on the performance of local governments. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. No, I'm not criticizing. I'm just disagreeing with my friend. It's okay, sir. I agree, sir. Yes, I'm most guided. On public, we are saying the revenue formula should be reviewed in such a way that land mass and population, which we believe are the most important economic resources, should be given priority when it comes to revenue allocation and revenue population. Because land mass and people matter, and the cost, they are the source of all the wealth. And we are asking that a review of the revenue formula should be 60% in favor of the states. And where there is devolution of additional responsibilities on state governments, that should go proportionate to the revenue allocation to the states that will have the additional powers. And we are urging this distinguished Senate to please reconsider this offshore and onshore dichotomy. It is very, very important. Because at the time it was passed, at the time it was made as part of the law, I think some of our representatives were sleeping. Now that we are awakened, we need to have a revisit of that offshore and onshore dichotomy. On police, on state police, we believe that because of the resources required to have an efficient and effective police, it may be practically impossible for a state to say it's going to create its own state police. Because we have to think of providing barracks for them, salaries for them, allowances for them, uniforms for them, machinery for them, arms and ammunition. Where can you get that money? It's only the federal government that will have. So our own position is that there should be decentralization of the Nigerian police in such a way that it will empower the states to have more hands.
Honorable, time.
Okay, sir. Well, okay. I will just
1 more minute.
Okay, I will be very selfish. I will jump to only one part: traditional rulers. We are saying traditional rulers, being our fathers and custodians of our custom, they should have a role defined in the constitution so that their tenure and their responsibility will be clearly defined and enforced. I thank you very much, sir.
All protocols duly and respectfully observed. I am here as a royal mother and the founder of ROPIDI, Association of Female Traditional Title Holders in Adamawa State. We have here 6 critical issues that we want the committee to deliberate and consider our stand. The issues include gender equality for women and girls, federal structure and power dissolution, traditional institution. Being my domain, Mr. Chairman, I want to briefly talk about the traditional institution. Our revived traditional institution must be accorded very specific constitutional roles, as they constitute a very important segment of the society. They play a significant role in the maintenance of peace and security, which is fundamental state duty as provided in the Constitution. Any provision that limits their roles to simply advisory must be made away with, and have them clearly perform specific roles that will complement the state in the maintenance of peace, harmony, security, peaceful coexistence within their various domains in the nation at large. There should be council of chiefs at state, zonal, and federal level with specific functions and roles. D. Nigerian police and Nigerian security architecture. E. Judicial reforms. Finally, residency and indigent provisions. Mr. Chairman, this is our provision and we want you to deliberate on them. Thank you and God bless you all.
We are, just like my predecessor has already said, there are a lot of masculine words that are being used in the Constitution which excludes women, and that is a starting point for gender equality, kind of. We also want to ensure equitable women representation in government. Also, we want the creation of additional seats, special seats, specifically for women. And these seats in both the federal and state legislature. We want first in the Senate, 1 seat each, apart from the traditional 3 that we already have, that are already in existence. A seat should be created for women where it will be exclusively for women. And this is to bridge the gap that is already existing in the current political framework. Secondly, for the House of Representatives, we would like to have 2 seats for women in all the 36 states. And for House of Assembly, we would like to have 1 seat in all. Also, this is just to fast-track women's participation and compensate for already what we've lost in the past. Thank you.